Hey gang, what's going on? And welcome to Talking Vegas All Day with KA. I'm your host KA. And on today's episode, I'm going to review some of my hopes for 2021. Kind of go back in time to an episode I dropped around this time last year for my hopes and a year review episode. You can go ahead and check that out on YouTube or Apple or Spotify podcasts, wherever you are. But I kind of want to go back and see how my predictions, a la Nostradamus, so to speak, came to fruition. At the same time, I'm going to also drop some of my hopes for 2022. Kind of what I would like to see. And then also JA is going to join me as well. And we're going to talk about my 2022 hopes and we will have some fun discussion and relive the year that was Las Vegas in 2021. So before we get started, make sure to hit like, click the subscribe button, and leave a comment. And also today, I want to ask you a question. What was your favorite moment in 2021? Did you get to Las Vegas or, just looking on the internet? What was your favorite moment? So with that said, let's go ahead and get started on today's episode of Talking Vegas All Day with me, KA.
Let's go to Vegas, baby. Let's go tonight.
Right now.
Let's go to Vegas. We'll stay up all night. Let's go to Vegas.
So, looking at this list, I gotta be honest with you guys. It's rather kind of funny, some of these hopes that I had, but remember early on in 2021, things were just starting to open up, and I know we're still in the middle of the pandemic, so there's a lot still that is always changing, going on, and so I wanted to just kind of review these. I have 15, and I can tell you guys right now, 2022 is not as long as the list, but the first one on my list is Las Vegas resorts and casinos will return to full capacity by the end of 2021, both safely and improved. So for that one, I think we have gone back, obviously, to full capacity. Obviously, there's been weekends where Vegas has been literally, hotels have been selling out. And there have been some improvements, such as they still have the washing dispensers, and there's certain migration and mitigation things that the hotels, casinos, whatever side of the coin you're on, there are some improvements. That said, back in early part of 2020, 2021, there was still limited capacity. So it's good to see Vegas is back, thriving. Things are starting to improve. Things are kind of back up and running. So yes, Vegas is back up to capacity by the end of 2021. And then my second one is that the Virgin Hotel and Casino and Resorts World would open on time and have no further setbacks. Well, if you remember at the end of 2020, there were some concerns that would Resorts World open up in August? Would Virgin keep pushing back the start of their opening of their hotel? Well, both opened on time, both opened up. Things are going well for both resorts and casinos. So that one we also hit all up. Then number 3, this was a personal favorite of mine, continues to be one, and I don't know if we will know the question until 2023, but the eyesore that is known as Fontainebleau, or at the time was called the Drew, will finally be sold or have a solid plan towards completion or be demolished. So, and you guys probably already know this, Clark County came out and basically told the new owners, well, first off, let's go back. The Drew at the time ceased to be in existence. Then Marriott bought it. Then basically the original owner of Fontainebleau partnered with a whole bunch of people, mega billion-dollar corporation. And guess what? They came up with a plan because Clark County told them basically, look, either build this thing or tear it down. And towards the end of 2021, it seems like there is a plan in place. Construction started back up. Seems like the funding is going together. So we'll see. They're hoping the end of 2023. So 2022, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be tracking the either build or stalling once again of the Fontainebleau now. And number 4, and this one I pushed just because with the pandemic, certain people decide not to come back. It's ever evolving and changing. I had said that we'll get more residencies announced or planned, and that there are more rock 80s and 90s, and also more 80s and 90s pop acts that come to venues. And this one was hard because, Sting and Usher, Carrie Underwood, they announced residencies, and Carrie Underwood was literally probably early 2000s, maybe late 99. But, there's a lot of early 2000 kind of acts, but then you got like David Lee Roth, the Scorpions. So, yes and no. It seems to be a cluster. I was hoping more for more hair metal bands. A little bit more of some 80s new wave kind of stuff. Just some fun, nostalgia stuff. And it's slowly coming. I think it's always going to be a mixed bag with Vegas. So I pushed that one. One that I was missed on totally. Hotels will start coming back customer friendly when we get back to full capacity. Well, I was wrong, because at the time they were small or no hotel fees, free parking. Well, that went by the wayside, and of course now hotel fees are jacked up once again. Parking probably even seems worse than it was pre-pandemic. And yeah, now that said, they have done some nice little things here and there, but when we were out in Vegas, like the room we stayed in at the Bellagio, they had like sanitation masks, all that. They go a little bit extra way. But again, it's all built into the resort fee, so they're really not losing anything. So, no, I wasn't right on that. And then another one I really wasn't right on was the Palms is going to figure out its identity. So, remember when it opened up, it revamped itself, and Jay and I had been there pre-pandemic, and we really liked the new interior with everything that got going on. Well, then when the pandemic started, they closed, obviously, like everybody else, and then they never opened again. And then basically they got sold. Now they have a new owner, and they're starting to get back to it, and they really still haven't figured out their plan, so I was wrong on that one. Number 7, the planned hotels like Dream and Atari actually get built. So this was a big thing that, and this has always been a thing with Vegas, they'll announce these big productions like the Net Arena and Hotel that is now just a vacant lot still sitting there. Now, apparently they still have a plan, but yeah, it's getting scaled back. I don't see that one happening. But the Dream and Atari, well, remember the Atari Hotel, e-gaming, whatever it is. Yeah, that's not happening. So they announced that they're probably not going to build any. I mean, they kind of left it vague to a couple places, but yeah, it doesn't sound like it's going to get built. And then the Dream, well, the FAA didn't want to get built, being so close to Harry Reid International Airport, no longer McCarran. And it seems like they got a plan in place, and we'll see if that gets built. It sounds like Clark County is kind of optimistic about it. But again, I give myself a half a point on that. So right now I got 3 right, a push, and 2 wrong, and a half. So 3.5 and 2 wrong. And then number 8, we get 2 new casino resorts or upgrades. Well, there was a resort announced, and it's not casino, so that doesn't count. That said, as we know, the Mirage is now going to be bought by Hard Rock. And I guess my biggest thing with this is I'm not happy about it. I love the Mirage. I think they should renovate it and make it brand new and keep it around. That's an iconic property. But that technically counts. And then my number 9, that strip restaurants, get away from the dinner club and supper clubs. Now, I love dinner clubs and supper clubs and also speakeasies, but there was a little bit of a trend there with Delilah and a couple other ones. And it seems like a lot of new restaurants, that was just kind of a quick thing. And so, yeah, they're getting away from it and they're going to go to the next thing. Whatever that might be. I mean, there's a whole bunch. It just seems like they're getting away from the celebrity chef thing and now actually having established restaurants with actual chefs. Some still being celebrity. But I'm actually in 2021 with the Eater and other publications posting the food and restaurant options coming for 2022. I've been actually really impressed with them. And we'll talk about that more because I got an episode coming up on that. Number 10, as we know, KA likes craft beer, so that they bring back a public house or brewery on the Strip. As we know, Sin City closed down. The public house at Venetian closed down. So what was left? Well, there's a couple little flagship breweries that have, like Grand Canal Shops. There's a brewery there. A couple satellite restaurants. So I have a point. There's still no real public house that used to get rare, hard to find beers. Now, having said that, the art district in Las Vegas, downtown, is booming with breweries. So if you're a craft beer person listening to this and you're heading out to Las Vegas, get to the arts district. There's tons of beers. You can basically do a bar crawl to breweries. Highly recommend, by the way. That Fremont East grows and expands. That's my number 11. The areas are now vacant. Well, as we know, the CEO Zappos passed away, and now the properties are being sold and lots are being sold. So that's a no-go because basically that's probably not going to get anywhere done anytime soon. So nope. Number 12, that Binions keeps updating. Well, they built Whiskey Liquor Upper. They got opened up Hotel Apache. Yeah, they're improving. Last time I was there, Binions looked night and day from the time I was there in 2021, 2019 one time. So funny story, I was out there, got in at midnight, wanted to go get some food at a place. I was staying at the Golden Gate. I wanted to get a 24-hour bite over at Main Street. So walked through Binions, through the Cal, and then into Main Street Station. And when I walked through Binions, it was a ghost town. It was dead. There was a lot of dead space. So it's good to see now it's back up hustling and bustling. And then number 13, Young Acropolis actually keeps improving. Well, 2021, they were adding a lot of shops, and they still are. This is a push because is it ever really going to get any better? I mean, a lot of the shops there are mom and pop shops. Now, the karaoke bar is awesome. I love that place, but they're trying, and I'm going to push it because I want to see what they do in 2022. And then that we see more innovative and unique places off Strip. Well, we are, and just going around and seeing, like, you know, the Mega Mart and just some fun little things that are popping up outside the Strip. I'm going to push that one just because there's still a lot going on there. And then number 15, everyone wins lots of money and has a magical time in Vegas. I pushed that one because everybody does. Or at least you should. So that's my 2021 in review. I hope you liked it. Overall, I'd say I batted about 50%. So, I'll take it for my first go at this, guys. And I had a lot of fun going back and looking at some stuff. And this is not one of my normal histories of episodes, I know. But I hope you stuck around for this. 2022 is going to be really big. I'm going to have JA join me in a little bit. And her and I are going to sit down and go over my hopes for 2022. So stick around. We'll be right back. Hey gang, it's Kay. I'm back with Jay. Say hi.
Hey.
All right, so here is KA's hopes for 2022. As you guys know, we just talked about my review of 2021. So here's 2022's hopes. And I'm going to have JA kind of give her thoughts on this year. So we can review them at the end of 2022 in December. And so first and foremost, as everybody knows, that Hard Rock Hotel and Casino has bought the Mirage. And there are plans to make a super hotel, kind of like what they have in Florida, of the guitar with a la Luxor neon guitar string going up into the sky. But how do you feel about that?
I mean, I think that sounds pretty cool. At the same time, it's kind of sad to see the Mirage go, you know?
I don't know if it's fully going to go,
Yeah.
but there's still a lot of details. One of the details coming out, though, is that they're going to demolish the volcano and dolphin area. And right now, Vegas is trying to save the volcano because this is an iconic landmark.
It is iconic.
And so I hope they do save that, because I honestly am not a fan of the Hard Rock. Now, Hard Rock sold the Virgin, got out of Vegas. They then went and bought the Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City, which has been doing financially extremely well, from all accounts. I looked into that. So I think they want to get back in and kind of do what they did with the Trump and do that with the Mirage. Now, the Mirage has been doing good business, but I think they want to get on the Strip. I think that was their whole plan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but
two questions.
What?
Number one, will it still smell as good? Because let's be honest, the Mirage has very good scent, which we got the diffuser of. Second, so the dolphin things and the are those things staying?
I don't know. There's no details on that.
Those are pretty cool.
When I say the dolphins, remember the little Siegfried and Roy?
Yeah,
and
the statue.
Little
I thought you were talking about like where they have the actual.
No,
dolphins.
I'm talking about like the actual like dolphin statues
Right,
out front.
yeah,
I always thought those were cool.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, I hope the volcano is safe, because that's an iconic Vegas landmark.
It is. It is.
Okay, so my second hope. As you all know, this year, MGM bought the Cosmo. However, as we all know, Blackstone still owns the property. That said, MGM now for next 30 years is going to, and correct me guys if I'm wrong, is going to own the resort and casino area. I just hope they don't mess up the Cosmo.
The Cosmo is, as KA can tell you, my favorite hotel casino there.
Now, I don't think they're going to go over and change the property fully. The things that you'll see changes are, obviously, M Life will probably come in outside.
That's kind of a plus. You can use your M Life there.
Right, we can use that. But then are we going to see the same restaurants that we see when we go to Atlantic City at the Borgata? There was 3 restaurants that we saw the same. Because as you and I both have seen with MGM and even with Caesars to a degree, they kind of tend to have the same restaurants, and you see them flip-flop. So, for example, are we going to see Wolfgang Puck now show up at Cosmo when it's really not a Cosmo resort kind of thing? Or are we going to still see that? That's my question. I hope we don't get the outrageous resort fees. I hope we don't just get some of those quirkinesses, and I hope they just don't mess it up.
Yeah, just plain and simple. I hope they don't mess up the Cosmo like what we love about the Cosmo.
Now, number 3. So Caesars, here's not a hope, but prediction. Caesars and MGM will sell at least one more property in 2022. So with the pandemic, a lot of the casinos are consolidating their assets, obviously. My question to you is this, J.A. Which MGM property could you see being sold?
Oh, man. That's a good question.
I have an odd one. And I could see it happening only because when I'm watching Caesars, they're selling some of these properties like the Rio, et cetera, et cetera. Now, again, when it goes to be sold, and as you probably don't follow as much as I do, just because they're sold doesn't mean like they're just going to go, like with the Rio, the new owners are trying to actually improve it. Like with Circus, they sold to the guy who owns TI.
Yeah.
Now Circus is actually getting renovated in certain areas. My thought is, well, I think Excalibur is going to get sold. I've seen improvements there, but I could see a property like Excalibur, Luxor, or even New York getting sold. Now on the Caesars side, I could see something like Flamingo getting sold, and Paris, only because Paris, since you and I were there, when was that? 2000?
It was 2019 because we were there for 10 years.
Yeah. It's kind of gone downhill. Like I could see a property like that getting sold. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening. And yeah, from what we've heard, that they've had some, issues at Paris, like with it just needing some upkeep or something, which is a shame because I really enjoyed, our time at Paris. I love Paris.
Paris is a nice resort. Now, number 4. Soccer question. You know where this is going.
Absolutely.
Now, you guys don't know, K and J are soccer fans. We're fans of the Philadelphia Union, so if I get a lot of unsubscribes and unfollows, I know that you are other MLS teams, and I'm sorry.
Well, we're from the Philly area. So.
Yeah, so we're from the Philly area. But it's come out that Don Garber, in his weekly prior to the MLS Cup this year, we won't go into that, but has said that Vegas is in the front running for the MLS Cup. MLS team expansion. Now, their plans are to expand to 30 teams, and this has been covered in a lot of areas in media. But my hope is this coming year that Soccer Don makes the announcement that Vegas is that 30th team in the MLS. And here's why. It's not because I want to go to Vegas and watch the Union play.
But you do, let's be honest.
Let's be honest, I do. But at the same time, I think soccer, because of the media, because of the culture of Las Vegas, I think it would do very well. We're already seeing the Aviators draw great in AAA. The Knights have done well in hockey attendance for the most part.
Seems like they've really gotten a good fan base there.
Well, and I think
and now there's the Raiders.
Even when they're down now, I was checking recently just to see, because they've been down this year. It's the first time they've been down, and they're still drawing. Even though tickets are cheaper now and more people are coming. And the Raiders are drawing extremely well, even though they're kind of playoff hunt. I think soccer would do very well with that climate in Las Vegas. Now,
yeah, and think about the fact that, you can get international fans coming there pretty easily,
Absolutely. And also with the World Cup coming down the road, is Vegas going to play in for that? I know Philadelphia is, and not to get into this because this is a Vegas podcast, but I'm interested to see this. I think they're going to get that 30th spot. Now, he said San Diego. Well, we already got enough California teams. And Phoenix. Phoenix is a great option as well. And I've even said that on my other union stuff, that is an option. But I just think the media outlet and the money to be made for the MLS is just too great. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's definitely a prime opportunity. So yeah.
Now, would you be in favor of going like a lot of these new soccer teams like Charlotte FC and Soccer Club of St. Louis coming in next year? Or would you like to keep the Las Vegas Lights? Like
they should stay the Las Vegas Lights. I think.
Should they stay those colors?
Heck yes. Heck yes. It's very Vegas. I like it with all the neon colors.
I do too.
I think it works. In fact, I think that's better than, don't at me here, but it's better than, the Golden Knights. But the Golden Knights should have been like.
So not to get off topic, but when they were dropping all the team names on ESPN, they made this thing called the Las Vegas Sin. And it was just like, it was like an L. V with like the snake like Adam and Eve, and it was like in neon lights, and I was just like, oh, that's what. Meanwhile, my buddy Tony, you guys don't know him, he was like, I hate that one. That's my least favorite. I was like, that's my. Yeah. I need Vegas neon to be the team. So number 5, staying in sports, the Oakland A's.
Because Vegas is gonna steal all the Oakland teams, right?
Now, will not come to Las Vegas. And here's why. So apparently Oakland, and I guess the city of Oakland and the team are working on a new stadium deal. Now, it keeps falling through, kind of like what happened with the Raiders. Now, the plan is, and you can go online, folks, and Google Oakland Stadium, Google Las Vegas, Oakland Stadium, Las Vegas A's, anything. And you'll see specs. And it's very much like Tropicana, and it's a warehouse. Now, here's the thing. I just said Tropicana. They're going to tear down the Tropicana, which, let's be honest, Jillian, what?
It's cigarettes and sadness.
Which she is trademarking. Trademark. I just don't see it. I think Oakland's going to try to hold on to that team because they've lost the Raiders. They lost the Raiders. The Golden State Warriors went to San Fran across the Bay Bridge. They lost hockey. They had the Oakland Seals, and then they went to San Francisco, and now they're defunct. I just wish the A's would stay in Oakland. I just don't see us coming because what are you going to do? You're going to play a bunch of day games? Night games, and you're going to have the stadium, so I guess it's going to be climate control. And it looks spectacular, but I don't know. I'm just not a fan.
I think they're good with having just, the aviators there, which,
I'm a fan of that.
That was fun. Yeah.
I'm going to go back soon. So, next one, the Sphere. You know the Sphere. The MGM Globe Sphere behind the win.
Right.
Well, it's going on. It'll be up in 2022. So apparently, my hope is it gets complete because it'll be another event arena. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's one I'm just calling a shot there.
All right.
And then one resort will be announced. So outside of the Hard Rock, I think. Now, there are a couple plans out there. Obviously, the Dream, there's just a hotel kind of a la Trump one that's out there. But I think there's going to be something else. Now,
or will Fontainebleau be completed?
Well, as I said earlier, you weren't there for that part. But as I said earlier, the plans are into 2023. Mm-hmm. So, my thought is, there is that spot next to it.
Yeah. Right
next to it between the Fontainebleau and Sahara. That was supposed to be the net arena for an NBA team.
Yeah.
They still are kind of muddling the waters. That's a site property. the property, which is going to be the Wynn West, I guess it's supposed to be like a Wynn, between Fashion Show and Resorts World, that lot. They're gonna put up a sign there. It's just gonna say the Wynn. But something like that, I could see something getting property. What do you think?
Watch, it'll be another CVS.
I will shake your head on that. Oh, like with the Harmon, that specter of the Harmon, it says CVS. Yes, and that could be another thing. So we talked about the Fontainebleau. I do agree with that. Here's the other one, and this is a special bonus. Over under on how many times KA gets to Vegas this year. The line.
Well, the curveball is COVID in here too.
Right. Obviously, but we got
1 year. We got there one time in 2021.
Now we have already on the books the Killers.
Yes, Killers end of August.
Which I'm so excited for.
So excited.
That said, I'm gonna put it at 3. That's a
little
that's a bold move there, Cotton. That's a bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it plays out.
Yes.
Now, I know we're still talking about probably the Easter trip or spring trip. That's the best time to get out.
2 times.
You're saying 2. All right.
Yeah.
So we'll figure out where this goes, folks. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this show. That's all the time we have for today. Again, make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can get up-to-date episodes when we drop new shows periodically. And then also follow us on Instagram. Links are below. And we'll see you in 2022 on Talking Vegas All Day with me, K.A.